Hello and one and all, and welcome back to my Bond film series. And my next Bond review shall be, which is considered to be the first actual Bond sequel, since this is the current timeline for Craig's era, and that being Quantum of Solace, which starred once again Daniel Craig as Bond, his second time as Bond. And this is directed by Mark Forster, not Martin Campbell. And this, as I said, this is the first theatrical Bond sequel, and this was released in 2008. And guys, as always with my Bond reviews, I'm gonna include spoilers. So you've been warned. Let's say you've been warned. Let's talk about this. I need editing software, I know. Anyway, Quantum of Solace opens yet again with no gun barrel sequence. Well, it's a nice shot with the water and the outside of the tunnel, and then we're on. Then you get see some flashes of the car that Bond's driving in, which I like. That's good. And then the action kicks in. While the action itself is interesting, the big problem here, it's shaky cam and very quick cuts and shaky in places. Like, it seems like they took like a quarter second cuts in this scenes. I mean, after whenever they leave the tunnel, it gets all better, but I mean, I wouldn't mind watching this action scene, but here's the thing though, the editing is really bad. And you know, then it says that we're in Italy, since this takes place right after Casino Royale. And you know, and I like the moment where Bond opens the boot of the car and Mr. White's in there. And then we're on to the title sequence. Now, the title sequence itself is pretty okay. I mean, it sort of seems like a Bond video game. If you haven't played the Quantum of Solace video game, check it out. It's a great game. Yeah. The titles here, it's okay. It's nothing really too special. The song, however, need I need to say more? It is that bad. It's probably the worst Bond song that I've heard. It's just so eerie, and it's very it just doesn't feel like right for a Bond song. I mean, heck, even the Die Another Day song felt more like Bond than this song, in my opinion. I just really couldn't stand this song, I'm afraid. So, then after that, you know, we're introduced to you know, Judi Dench as M, who returns. Yes, she's been in M for 6 Bond films now. And later on Skyfall. And you know, then you get this guy Mitchell, who Bond then occasionally chases. And then, you know, I like the scene where they fall from the clock. It's great after when, you know, Bond is ringing that bell. And I like the action scene. This is an improvement action scene over the pre-title sequence. I will say that. But some editing problems is still there, I'm afraid. And then you get introduced to the main Bond girl, Camellia, and I'm not gonna pronounce her name because I'll probably butcher it. It's Oil or something, but I don't want to butcher her name. And then you get introduced to the villains, Donna McGreen and Elvis. And I gotta say, these villains are very weak. They barely have anything to do. You know, Elvis is just, I mean, Dominic Green, I can understand why he's in the film. I would have kept him in the film. Elvis, however, he has barely anything to do. He does nothing whatsoever. Like, he's the most boring henchman we've probably had in the series. You know, Jeffrey Wright, who's in this film, who I forgot to mention in my Casino Royale review. He was great in that film. Here he's also very good here, even though he doesn't really show much. And guys, I can give you some positives with Quantum of Solace, because this film isn't... I'm not going to completely trash Quantum of Solace. I mean, I don't think any of the Bond films are trash anyway. Some aren't just good as others. You know, some aren't great, some are okay. Daniel Craig, I think, is probably the main positive we can give for Quantum of Solace. You know, he's still good in the action sequences. You know, he still has, you know, the cold-bloodedness in there. You know, he still is the downtrodden Bond, especially from the tragic loss of Vesper Lynd in Casino Royale. And later on in the film, there's just barely anything happening, no action scenes whatsoever. But you do get an interesting opera scene. And yeah, Mission Impossible Rogue Nation did have an opera scene. In Quantum of Solace, you do get an opera scene. You know, this is the only time where you get to see Bond wear a tux in this film. And that's basically the only time where you see Bond wear a tux. Because every time where Bond wears the tux, it's great. It really is. But this was like the only scene where Bond wear a tux. And yeah. And David Harbour's in this film, somehow. And yeah. Jeffrey Christensen returns as Mr. White. You know, the mysterious mystery villain, you know, and who's also part of the Spectre organization. Again, thanks to 2015 Spectre. But then you also get a returning character, Mathis, who was in Casino Royale as well, who then eventually gets murdered in this film. And I find it really dumb how you would leave your friends dead in a trash bin and just take their money out. And yeah, then you also get introduced to another Bond girl, Strawberry Fields. Now, while these Bond girls are good looking, you know, Camille and Strawberry Fields, again, they barely have anything to do. I mean, other than just being in bed with Bond, Strawberry Fields at least, but and here's something stupid. What I find very confusing about Quantum of Solace is that when Bond is talking to Fields, he asks what her name is and says Fields, just Fields, while in the credits she's known as Strawberry Fields. How? And then, of course, you get a Goldfinger montage where Strawberry Fields has been killed in black oil, you know. And yeah, honestly, this is pretty hard film to talk about because this is a very disappointing film for the Bond series, you know. I mean, this is pretty much a contender for the worst Bond film. I mean, I know there's people that do somehow like this film, and if you do, that's cool. You know, that's part of the experience of liking stuff, you know. I mean, I have seen people that actually do like this, you know. Even if they don't think it's good as Quantum of Solace, they still... Casino Royale, sorry. But Quantum of Solace, I just find, is a very boring film. With some action happening here and there, despite the editing problem happening in those scenes. Judi Dench, she does her best in the film, even though she's barely in the film much. And you also get another pretty dumb... The Bond girls barely get anything to do, as I said, other than Strawberry Fields tripping over Elvis, who's probably the most stupid character in the film, but yeah. Then you get another stupid dumb death where Bond is leaving Dominic Green out in the desert, and he finds sort of this flame grenade, leaves it with him to die, and then eventually M confirms that he's dead at the end of the film. And then at the end of the film, before the credits, you get the gun barrel sequence. And yeah, it's a very fast gun barrel sequence. You know, it just seems like they used 2 extra speed on Bond firing the gun and the gun barrel sequence. The music's really cool, I like that, but the gun barrel itself, I don't know what they were thinking. I mean, I like the credits, you know, you have some red going on back in the credits, you know. But overall, guys, Quantum of Solace is just, while this isn't an abomination or a disaster for a Bond film, I don't think any of, even the bad Bond films, I don't think any of the Bond films are complete terrible. Some are just pretty meh. This one in particular. But overall, guys, Quantum of Solace, for the positives, Daniel Craig is still a good Bond. Some action is good, despite the editing. The opera scene is actually quite nice. But I have not much to say about Quantum of Solace. This is easily one of the weakest Bond films in the series. And on my letter grade scale for I forgot to mention Bill Tanner's first time appearing in the Bond film series in the Craig area. Well, it's nice to see him, but again, he barely has anything to do. Anyways, so overall, guys, on my letter grade scale for Quantum of Solace, I'm gonna give it a C-. If you like the movie, that's good. But me, on the other hand, as a Bond fan, the story itself for the film, I just think is pretty bad itself. But there you go, guys. That was my review and thoughts on Quantum of Solace. Comment down below, let me know below what you thought of Quantum of Solace. Where do you rank it in the Bond film series? Let me know below in the comments, and let's have a great discussion in the comments below. So guys, I hope you guys are enjoying this Bond film series. I have 2 more to do. They're going to be in November at some point. And will No Time to Die be delayed again? We don't know, due to the pandemic. Who knows? Next month I'm going to have a horror month on my YouTube channel, so look forward to that, guys. And as always, comment, like, subscribe, share this video, notify the bell before you leave. All my social media links will be in the description below. And if you guys are new to my channel, I'm a UK movie reviewer. I like to do movie reviews. I also like to do classic reviews, especially when a new movie comes out. I also like to do Blu-ray hauls from time to time. And sometimes I like to make ranking videos. And as always, guys, until my next video, I shall see you then, and peace.